Hey, Facebook Live. So, Hone Houdini Ty here, helping you escape your 9 to 5. And in today's video, I got inspired by a conversation that I had with somebody at Home Depot. I was at Home Depot getting some blinds cut down, and I'm talking to the person who's cutting the blinds. And I asked her if she invests in real estate yet, and she says, I want to, but I want to buy my house first. I want to buy my house first, and after I buy my house, then I will look into buying real estate as an investment. I said, all right. But would you mind if I shared something with you first? And she was like, okay, sure, what is that? I said, well, your house is nothing more than a big luxury good. What's up, Erica? Your house is nothing more than a big luxury. It's a big, big liability. It's this thing that doesn't bring you any money. So let's take a look. So let's say she went out and she bought a house, and let's say that that house cost her $200 or $2,000 a month. I said, that might be more than your rent or whatever you're doing now, and you're going to have to pay that with your salary that you have at Home Depot. Instead of doing that, why don't you actually start investing, and then when you invest, you will have additional income from your investment properties, so that when you want to buy your house, you have these houses as a source of income along with your job, so that when you're ready to buy a house, it's so much easier to swallow, you know, it's so much easier to do. And she was like, it started to click, because I talked to so many people who want to buy their house first and then invest in real estate. And I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why they think that they have to do one versus the other. It's probably like this settle feeling that they get. And I don't know, it's just emotional, right? But logically, doesn't it make more sense to have, let's see, 5 rental properties, each producing $500. That's $2,500 a month. So if you got $2,500 a month plus whatever her salary was, and then she bought a house that only cost her $2,000 a month, shit, she's $500 plus, and she hasn't even touched her salary yet. So there is a perfect example of where it's smarter to do the rental properties before it is to buy the house. But you know, people do what they want to do, and she's probably going to still aim to buy the house first, but at least I got her brain thinking of the two things, because when she was done cutting all the blinds for me, she said, you really opened up my brain, my eyes to something that, you know, I never really considered. So I said, all right, cool. And then I said, well, you're interested in investing, right? She said, yeah. I said to her that, well, investing requires you to have a little bit of knowledge about financials and whatnot. Start with velocity and create more cash flow. Yes, thanks, Joe. So I said, are you familiar with ROI? And like, just deer in headlights. She has no idea what ROI stood for. And I was like, I don't know enough to make money in this business. Or at least you don't know how to analyze 2 separate deals. And what I mean by that is, I said to her, if one property made $1,500 and you had $30,000 in, versus another property that made $1,900 but you have $40,000 in, which one is the better one? For all of you guys who know how to calculate ROI or what ROI is, you would simply take the $1,500 divided by the 30 and take the $1,900 divided by the 40, and you would get a percentage. This is 5% and this is 4.75%. So this is the better deal. But if you don't know that, like she didn't, she never even heard of ROI, then how do you make those decisions, right? So Ed brings up a point. That's what they've always been told to do, right? It's to buy a house, live the American dream. What I just found out recently is this whole American dream idea comes from the banks trying to create a new product. So they created this mortgage so that people can buy houses. So then they had this 30-year mortgage at a low interest rate, and then say low, right? But it's amortized, so you pay all the interest up front. So really, the banks made a product so that you can buy a house, and then they gave it a good name. They gave it the name of the American dream. Who wouldn't want the American dream, right? They called it that. So now everybody is like, you have to do this. You have to buy a house. Your home is an asset to the bank, not you. Michael Parks, I knew I liked you for a reason, right? So it is an asset to the bank, because when you pay the mortgage, most of it goes to interest for the first 7 years or so. That's the payday for the bank. That's the payday for the bank, right? There's a balance sheet. There's two balance sheets. There's your balance sheet and the bank's balance sheet. Your balance sheet shows that your house is costing you money. And then the balance sheet for the bank shows that that note for that house is creating money for them. You have to make sure that you have a balance sheet that shows money coming in so that your income statement looks strong. Now, if you don't know what an income statement is or a balance sheet and how they play with each other, watch my other videos. But yeah, so they called it an American dream. And that's how the banks got you to get a loan to buy a house. And it makes you feel wrong for renting, when really there is nothing wrong with renting. Okay? Because I rent. Believe it or not, this here, all this is, I rent this. And when you buy a house and you use the bank's money, guess what you're doing? You're renting money, right? You're still renting because it's not your money. You're renting their money, and you're paying them interest for renting their money. So you're not necessarily better off. And if you move, say, within 5 years, you've wasted way more money than if you would have rented. In terms of closing costs, transfer tax, title work, sales commissions, all those fees, plus all of the interest you've paid, and you barely touched the principal, you've spent a lot. So renting would have saved you money in that sense. So you just got to know your numbers, right? And you got to be smart. So I told her ROI, that's basics, right? That's basics in financials, financial intelligence. If you're interested in making money in real estate or anything, let's pretend you make money in like the high school and college range. And I don't actually mean school, I mean in your mentality, right? Then if you don't know ROI, maybe you're still in kindergarten. Though you think you know everything, like talk to a 10-year-old and ask a 10-year-old if they know everything in the world. And of course, they think they know everything, right? They know everything there is. Tell them, you want to start a business? Go start a business. They're like, yeah, I can do it. I know everything. I know how to start this business. But you know, as an adult with a higher intelligence and a higher, what's the word? Just wisdom, right? Consciousness, that's it. You have a higher consciousness than the 10-year-old. The 10-year-old can't have a consciousness of yours because they just haven't been around that long. Because you have that, and you can hear the 10-year-old doesn't know what they're talking about, yet the 10-year-old believes they do. The 10-year-old believes they know what they're talking about. So, competence, yeah. So, a lot of adults think they know what it takes to be a real estate investor, but the truth of the matter is they don't. And when she said she never even heard of ROI, that was like me talking to a 10-year-old who tells me that he's ready to be an adult. So that's all. So I just want to share that with you guys. If you're looking to start real estate investing, but you're also considering buying a house, this example shows that maybe it's better to do the real estate investing first, continue to rent, and then once you got that going, you can buy the house. Let your assets buy your liabilities. Good stuff. All right, guys. Hopefully that helped, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.